Alright, so I just wanted to make a short video on, or not short, but I just wanted to make a video on the difference between the computer AI, the standard computer AI, and something you might find in the AI files, in the AI download section. So the one I'm showing off right now is my own AI, Elite Kazane, version 304. Another one just like it's going to be Ferox. One that's modeled off the standard AI would be Carl Burkhardt. That's another one, but it's meant to be played as an ally. But in this video, I kind of wanted to show off the difference. In order to even have the standard data AI to be somewhat competitive and harder to beat, you have to at least put it on hard. Even then, it's quite inefficient. It'll cheat. Every 10 minutes it'll receive 500 resources. As well, when it reaches certain tech levels, it'll gain extra resources. I believe tech level 2 gains like 100 of each, tech level 3 500 of each, and then tech level 4 1,000 each, something like that. And I do highlight that in this video, in this recording. So if you pay attention to the clock at the top left, around 10 minutes I should be highlighting, I should be still within the viewpoint of the computer AI, the standard AI, and if you watch its resources around the 10-minute mark, everything will increase by 500, and you can see on the point screen that the points will go up. So with the standard AI, it's going to train troopers in tech level 1. It's going to keep them as trooper recruits, even in tech level 2 for a short while. It'll even attack with them as trooper recruits. And it does not... It's definitely not a killing blow. It's just meant to be somewhat of an annoyance or a like a standard attack. I guess that's what the developer was going for. Generally, AIs like Elite Kazane, you'll find them that in Age of Empires, AIs will, in order to be economical, they won't train. If they do train military in tech level 1 or Dark Age, so to speak, it's generally only when tech level 2 is being researched already. So because it's the general economy sense goes, you know, try to collect enough food to produce workers, and then start gathering carbon, just enough to start producing farms and the required amount of prefab shelters, and then enough for maybe a Nova processing center or a power core or a troop center, you know, when you're first starting out. That's generally towards the later, like 11-12 minutes into the game. So I set Elite Kazane on random, so it's got Gungans and Republic, as you can see. And Elite Kazane's more of a, the behavior of it's meant to be as a reactionary AI. It mainly just trains units to counter the enemy units. And so really it's, most of its main power comes from playing 1v1. But lately I've been playing a lot of 2v2, so that's what I'm showing off right now. And future videos will be 1v1. The Gungans right here, they're produced, at the start of the game, it was, chose a holocron grab strat, which is one of the 3 strategies that's only implemented in it right now, so it's basically just tries to get a Jedi tempo out as soon as possible, grab holocrons as quick as possible. And one of its conditions is if it detects that it doesn't have any troops, or that the enemy has a certain amount of troopers, it'll build a turret. Turrets are really great. I'm only explaining this as if you've never played Star Wars before, but turrets are great against troopers. They're really great. You can throw like 15 to 20 of them against it, and they'll be repelled off pretty easily. It's the mounted troopers you gotta watch out for. But if you, I guess if you build multiple turrets and space them apart a bit, I don't know. Now the difference is too with the hard AI. I told you how much it cheats already and how it cheats. The hardest AI actually doubles those resources that it receives. And it actually relies on the resource cheats. So if you actually extracted the AI from the game, took this resource cheats out, put the AI back into the game, it's actually going to perform incredibly horribly. It'll wait for those resources to come. The AIs generally don't. They do rely on the resource cheats quite a bit, above moderate difficulty, and they rely too much on the troops, especially early on. Just a wee bit too much. One of my when I was first learning to play Star Wars, one of my biggest strategies was just trying to hit tech level 3 as fast as possible, grab the hologrons, and then grab a bunch of strike mechs and just rush off towards them, and then kite with the strike mechs, take out all of his troops, the mounted troops, the grenade troops if there were any, and then just proceed to mass mounted troopers and take out the command center like that, like nothing ever happened. It'd be like 30-minute games, and I try to perfect that almost. I implement that somewhat into my AI here, but for the most part, if he's not set to a tech level 2 aggression, what they do is they'll just train enough troopers to put up a good base defense, knowing that he will have turrets inside of his base to reinforce that. So generally those troops that are trained aren't meant to be offensive, and so the bigger difference is going to be the economy. The alternate AIs are going to have a little bit stronger economy, so that when they do lose units, it's not going to be such a big problem. Generally, they also have better attack conditions. They're not going to send 5 units out to attack when the enemy obviously has, 30 strike mechs just waiting to take that out. And as you can see here, both of them are capitalizing on the fact that the Trade Federation recently lost units, and so it's got a weak economy, so a huge amount of troops in there. Not going to do that much damage, but they are going to hold off their economy and their military production for a small while. They won't do any real damage until some mounted troops get in there and touch around those power cores in the command center. So, something I haven't mentioned, I've got a lot of, I guess, cheat detection in there, in my scripts, So basically, there's 2 commands. There's the cheat command and the non-cheat command to detect units and buildings. So if you use the normal command to detect units, it's actually bugged. So if you put in your script, hey, if the enemy has greater than 0 troops, train a strike mech. Well, won't train a strike mech until there's actually 8 troops on the field, and the AI sees that in the line of sight. So that it is bugged. TCU3 did find a way around that. Apparently if you count in 12s, it'll detect the units correctly, the right numbers, but that's only for the troops. There are different numbers for each unit. So in all fairness, I'm fairly lazy, and it's there's not a large scripting community for Star Wars. So a lot of my AI contains a lot of cheat detection for buildings, for units. So if he has a lot of troops, he'll check real quick. He'll cheat detect if the enemy has any turrets. If they don't, and if they don't have any, strike mechs or a horde of troops, he'll go ahead and attack. And I'm talking about tech level 2, early tech level 3 around here. The other thing is population. I noticed because I did take a look at the computer AI, and I do it a little bit later on. And he's sitting around with 1,700 food, and like 200 carbon, 200 nova, 100 ore, something like that. And while my AI is sitting at, I think 150 plus pop, he's only got like 100. And he sends out these small groups to attack. It's highly inefficient. If you've ever scripted for AOK or Star Wars, if you take a look at it, you'll see my script is actually it's pretty unorganized. It's a little sloppy. I'm not the most organized person, and so for my AI to do good, it's my point is that anybody can kind of do it. It's not something that you have to be a programmer to do or be very organized. Then again, I only do have a high school diploma, so it might have something to do with it. But it's been fairly fun for me. It's been a nice little hobby. And I put a little bit of work into it, quite a bit of work, especially over the past few months, to get it a little bit more optimized and tweaked. Trying to make it efficient. So you can see the units are standing around right now. Even though it's quite obvious that they have much more than the enemy. Well, I put it in there that if once you hit tech level 4, to wait around for 4 minutes, trying to build up resources for more units, trying to hit that population cap, and try to get a lot of research in at the time because, like I said, I'm sloppy. So I haven't put anything in there that just, it's meant for all 8 civilizations. So I don't have any code in there that says, hey, stop and don't attack unless this research is finished. I just have it as, hey, attack if you have this many more units than your opponent. And you have siege units if they have a fortress or many turrets. Those are the basic attack conditions. So I tell it to sit around at tech level 4 for at least 4 minutes, just enough to build up certain research and upgrades. And something I wanted to point out, this has nothing to do with the difference between the computer and the AI. But at this point in the game, so at this point both AI would have 2,000 cheated resources at the least, more around probably 2,500, and in another 7 minutes he'll get another 500. Or I'm sorry, in another 5 minutes he'll would have had built up another 1,000, because it's 1,000 every 20 minutes. And as you can see, the AI I put together still wins. So I've got it right now set on Admiral Ozzo, so you can see from his point of view. So as you can see, he's got 106 population. My AIs have about 200 pop right now, probably around that area, if not almost max population. Very close to it. They're probably about to start getting full upgrades. Most of the War Center research is completed. Most of the Troop Center upgrades are done. And like I mentioned before, if you look at this Admiral Ozzel, the computer player here, he's got 1,900 food and about 900 carbon, and he still has a low amount of units. It's I guess the AI was dumbed down a little bit, so they're fairly easy to beat. So you'll hear people bragging about playing against 3 or 4 of them, and while it is, it's pretty good. You're beating 3 to 4 opponents. The AI has been designed very poorly. Sometimes it will do surprising things. Sometimes I guess it has random aggression modes. However, for the most part, anytime I throw mine up against the hard computer, mine will Mine will always come out on top. It does not resource cheat. I have recently put in there though that if there is any Simon killer Ewoks or Death Stars out in the field, and they're not on their team, they will cheat resources per second. So Simon the killer Ewok will cause it to cheat 300 resources per second because he can only target one guy at a time. And the Death Star, because it hits such a massive area and can take out very expensive units, got it set to 3,000 resources per second. So as long as it's out on the field, my AI will gain 3,000 resources per second, which quite a bit of resources. Alright, so we're 58 minutes into the game, almost 59, and I've got the AI selected so you can see from his point of view when he gets the cheats. He's going to get 500 resources at, I think it's like the hour and 10-second mark, somewhere around there. But right now his resources are quite high. If you look at that, 1,700 carbon, 2,100 food. And I'm waving my mouse over those resources. Alright, so I got 10 seconds here. And then pop. So about 10 seconds afterwards, 11 seconds. Does get that 500 resources check. But it doesn't mean anything unless you actually use the resources. And that's something I've played with other AIs. Bulbarian, for example. If you, in certain games, I was playing from his perspective, and he was losing, so I gave him resource cheats and he did nothing with them. So sometimes it doesn't even help. Now, something I want to point out if the mouse clicks on it. If you take a look at it, the Gungans, look at that. Okay, do you see that fast fighter? Enhanced bomber, 28 HP. That's from the Republic. Advanced bomber from the Gungans have 40 HP. The non-shielded, the civs that don't have access to shields have additional HP on their aircraft. That's something in case you didn't know.